this is Chad from Don't Fret Guitar Studio, and I'm going to talk about some chord theory, basic chord theory, and how to work the circle of fifths to write songs using basic chords. Okay, so the circle of fifths, if you're not familiar with it, check out some of my other videos. I do have one about it and how to work it, but we're going to go ahead and start with some popular keys. The popular keys that we use that you don't have to use a capo to get to, or detune, or play bar chords, would be kind of in the area of F to E or so, this side being the happy, easy-to-use keys with open chords that we have from our cage system. So if you want to write a song in D, or you happen to already start a riff in D, we take this key and we write it out using the alphabet. D, E, F, G, A, B, C. It has two sharps in it. From our order of sharps, which is in the other video, fat cats go down alleys eating bacon. We have two, so we're going to take the first two of the order. We sharp F, we sharp C. Okay, that's a scale at this point. To turn it into a chord progression, we need to label our triads. Our triads come from this Roman numeral here sequence of your 1 being major, your 2 and your 3 are minor, your 4 is major, your 5 is major, uppercase is major, lowercase is minor, your 6 is minor, and your 7 is diminished. Now this is not using seventh chords and extensions. We'll get into that in another video sometime, but right now this is only triads. So up here, when I label this, a major chord doesn't have to have a symbol. It just needs to be a capital letter. So D, we don't have to do anything to. The E, we're going to put a little M next to it. The F sharp is also minor. We'll put an M to it. Okay, our 4 is major, so we don't touch it. Our 5 is major. We don't do anything to it as well. And when I say 4 and 5, I'm talking about literally from here we count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is minor. Put an M next to it. And our 7, which is our last one, will have a little degree symbol for diminished. Diminished can be notated with the little circle or DIM. It's another abbreviation for it. It's to help it resolve back to 1. But, okay, so some generic formulas. I'll use pop country, anything that really has a happy vibe to it is generally going to use, you'll hear this a lot in a lot of videos and other things, but 1, 4, 5, and then also we throw in the 6. So if you might have seen songs that contain D, G, A, and B minor in any order. It doesn't have to be written like this. I mean, it could be, you know, D, B minor, G, A. The list goes on and on. But a 1, 4, 5, 6 we'll write. I mean, that's just hundreds and hundreds and thousands of songs that are powerful. They work great because it plays with the emotions inside of happy, but still has a little bit of the minor chord in there, which really digs out the other sad part. It just balances very nicely. But these chords, put together in any way, would produce a great song. Now what's really cool is you can take a capo with the guitar, use this, if you capo, say, the 2nd fret and played this key, you would move it a step up to E. So you would physically be playing these chords here, but they actually would be in the key of E. And use the Roman numerals to transpose that. The cage system, we can get in that in another video sometime. That's pretty in-depth. Okay, so that would be just a generic way to get a song that works. But let's look at this a little bit more here, of this sequence and how to make it work. Let's do it on this side. Okay, so when you look at a major triad, inside of a major is a 1, 3, and a 5. And what I'm talking about, literally, if we were eyeballing D, inside of a D major chord are the notes D, F sharp, because it's the 3rd one, and an A, because it's the 5th one. Literally, just straight from the key. A minor chord is a 1, flat 3, and a 5. And the same thing, if you're talking about a D, then you need to take those letters we're talking about here from this formula, from that key. Don't take it from the existing key that your song is in. That is a shortcut, but you need to learn this way first, because this is what makes it correct in the end. Okay, so a minor, you take a 1, a flat 3, and a 5. So in this particular case, that would be a D, and when we flat the F sharp, that does not mean put a flat sign next to it. It means to lower it a half step. So if you see a sharp in this formula, it means to raise it a half step. If you see a flat in this formula, it means to lower it a half step. So to make a D minor, we'd end up with D, F, and A. And that would make a D minor. We also have augmented. Augmented literally means to grow, make bigger on your interval, and it's a root third and a sharp fifth. Okay, augmented is something that it's not used as much as you would think, but it works in transition. It's a very good transition trick. You see it a lot with like if you played the 2nd fret on the top string and the 5th fret on the A string with it. That's like a D/F sharp inversion, but it's also an F sharp augmented. It's really cool in harmonic spelling. Anyway, okay, so augmented, that's another one that we'd use. So if we had D augmented, that would be a root, a 3rd from the key, which is F sharp, because we haven't done anything to it, and a sharp 5th, which is an A sharp. Okay, we also have diminished. Diminished is a root, flat 3rd, flat 5th, which means we're going to diminish the interval. We're going to make it smaller. So if we compare that again to D, that'll give us the notes D from the key. So let's do this. We'd have D. Then we're going to flat our 3rd, which if we flat F sharp, move it a half step back, it'll become F. And then A. So if we flat A, move it a half step back, it becomes A flat in this particular case. And these intervals are what make up triad theory in basic songwriting. This can be broken apart, used for your harmonies, for your singing parts, for a guitar melody, a lead line, all kinds of interesting things. That's the theory of what makes it fit inside of a key. Basic chord theory.